Can you see me?
Now I can see you. Hello, everybody. I guess that the video stopped or the video, whatever. Here we are. This is Angel, and this is episode number 69 of the Ask Julius Show. I don't know what happened. I lost Kasey, but here we are. We might have lost each other, Kasey, but we will never lose Julius.
That's right. That's right. It's so true. I think everybody can attest there's bizarre online things going on this week, all kinds of problems with websites and stuff. We're going to hold the space that we're going to make it through the evening tonight on the show. And yeah, it's just an energy thing. So welcome in, everybody. It's so great to see you, and hope everybody is having a blessed week and everything is well in everybody's lives.
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 69. Apologies that we couldn't be with you last week. By the way, we are undergoing several amazing changes that we will be announcing throughout the show today. Again, the 69th show. And everybody, thank you, everyone that is back to the show today. We have some messages here from the audience. Angel Wings, Amanda, good morning from Australia. Everyone, blessings and love to you all. Amanda, hi, Amanda, great to have you. Hilda B, hello, everyone. Love and light to all of you. Happy to be here. Yes, exactly. We're just with Kasey talking about, the technical stuff, the things that happen, and they just have no explanation. But it is what it is, and we just keep on doing what we have to do. And if you ever get stuck, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving, and that's what we're doing here at the show number 69. Okay, so here we go. We already have questions from Hilda, as it couldn't be otherwise, because she's always in top of our game and of her game, which is wonderful. Okay, so let me change myself to the other side and let myself become small, just for the sake of having Kasey and Julius full screen. So Hilda is saying, in the multiple timelines that we exist simultaneously, doing the same role and wearing the same body, does our level of consciousness ranges from 1 to 6, or is it similar?
Yeah, great question, Master. And it's different for everybody. But there is a big difference between lifetimes and timelines within a lifetime. And we will agree with you that you tend to be extremely similar. However, That is not necessarily the absolute case. We're going to give you some examples here because we think we know what you're asking, okay? There has been so much timeline manipulation done to this realm. There was a time, decades ago, even centuries ago, masters, when the timelines were shuffled or bumped or manipulated on you maybe once or twice every few years, just depending on what they were trying to control, what they were trying to unleash, what they were trying to regulate. And that was something that nobody paid attention to, nobody caught, nobody had any idea what was going on, because with that little of a bumping or manipulation, even if people got thrown into different timelines, their personality, there just wasn't a recognition that anything major had happened. However, they have been shuffling and shifting timelines on such a regular basis over the last 10 years that there have been reports and evidence really that people are getting thrown from one timeline to the next, and there's a huge difference in their personality or levels of consciousness. We're seeing a lot of what look to be very progressional people who are really working on their consciousness, raising their consciousness. They did a timeline shift, and the worst of them came in, and it was like, what happened? What happened? And so there is a variation because there's an infinite amount of timeline variations. And so, yes, Master, of course, because you're a fractal, there is a differentiation, can be a differentiation in your level of consciousness, which would change your characteristics, your personality quite a bit while you're wearing the same clothes, while you've got the same people going on. So that can be the case. There can be a differentiation and there can be sameness because there's infinite possibilities and infinite versions of you. We want to support both points of view. The question is, what have you noticed, Master? Have you noticed a difference? Have you noticed a difference in some of the people entering your life or that you're very close to in your life? It's something very bizarre has happened. Their behavior has changed. Their attitude has changed. A lot of collapse of relationships have happened. This year in particular, or over the last couple of years, will people just swear up and down that their partner's different, different than they were? And is that a result of the timeline manipulation and variation? Yes, in some cases it is. Not in all the cases, and it doesn't excuse you, and it kind of is very difficult because you can't go in and kind of find your version of your person. We definitely recommend that everybody be practicing grounding techniques, harnessing your energy, staying focused, staying aware so you don't get thrown.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your question. Let me go to the next question. By the way, Hilda B is saying, and we apologize for that. The video was showing that the show could start in 1 hour instead of now. We apologize if that was the case. As I said before, we have been facing all sorts of technical challenges that we cannot always explain, but here we are. And by the way, you probably have noticed, and that's one of the news that we wanted to announce today, that actually we are moving. Our website is still at expandwithjulius.com, but we are moving to a new one, which is called Channeling Julius. Mm-hmm. Channeling Julius, and you already have, if you want to know more about Channeling Julius, send an email to support@channelingjulius.com. Okay, so if you, by the way, if you go at some time soon to the website, you might see this, which I'm going to share just for you to know that we are working on that. Okay, so this is what we are working on. Our production team is working on this. Okay, it's a wonderful starry night here. Wonderful, nice. All right, and as I said before, it's soon going to be ready, and we're going to move everything from Expand with Julius to Channeling Julius. We just wanted to tell you that, and also please, moving forward, feel free to send emails to support at channelingjulius.com. And also, if you have questions that you want to ask Julius, as you always do, and you send us a lot of emails, send those to support@channelingjulius.com. Anything that you would like to add, Kasey?
I'll tell you what, changes are amazing. Changes, shifts, inspiration. We've been receiving very clear messages from Julius that it is time to make massive changes in our business in relationship to Julius. We've been doing that this year for many reasons, and here we go again. So changing the business, continuing to improve things. Our team is brainstorming, energy is changing, energy is shifting, and the truth is, out with old stagnant energy, in with new, extraordinarily powerful, expansive energy. That's what this is all about. So we want everybody's support and enthusiasm, and know everything is great, everything's magnificent. In fact, everything's better than magnificent. Just bringing in new energy and continuing to complete the changes that we've been instructed to do by Julius. And we always follow along with that as we continue on our journey.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We're going to say hello to, we are all in this together. Thank you for being here. She already has formulated a couple of questions that we will be asking shortly. We have Greg here as well. Greg, great to have you here. As usual, a great contributor to the family. Alongside Jacqueline DeGrasse, someone else that is always with us all the time. Thank you for being here. And as I said before, if we announce this show later on today, so thank you even more because we're showing up 1 hour early. So just to make it clear, we haven't changed the time of the show. It's going to be always the same time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday. Okay, the Ask Julius Show. It's been already 69 shows. Unbelievable. Exactly. Unbelievable. Let's go to the next question that comes from We Are All in This Together. All right. So she's asking, can you tell us what happened with the assassination attempt, who is involved, and if Trump is playing the people?
Yeah. You're watching a show, Masters. You are watching a show. Keep that in mind. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is scripted. Trump is well and safe. That is not Donald Trump. That is, you are watching play out these dramas. He is very safely tucked away in the folds of some place that you would never guess. And you are watching a show. Sit back, get your box of popcorn, relax. Magnificent things are taking place, and there is an order to everything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And now Jacqueline DeGrasse is asking a question. And she's asking, my calcium falls suddenly. Could that be from the 5G or a nutritional deficiency? That's her question.
So what causes calcium deficiency is dairy. Okay. So wondering if you have increased your dairy intake, that literally collapses your calcium is dairy intake. So that could be one of the results. But of course, the synthesized food is also a big problem. So your food sources are getting more and more and more synthesized. So your body is having a hard time naturally producing its own minerals and its own vitamins. So that's intentional as well. You might to try to do your best to shift into organic foods, even though that's questionable as well. But they definitely have got you ingesting a lab-grown food and plastic, quite a lot of it.
All right. Okay, let's go to the next question. In this case, that's coming from We Are All in This Together. All right, people are saying to prepare food for 6 months. Is there some major event coming, like an earthquake in California or a rift opening in the Indian Ocean, causing a tsunami? Can you inform us of anything?
They've been talking about that preparatory for 6 months, for years now, Master, for years. We will tell you that you are protected and you are well and safe. Most of that has to do with the possible collapse and shift of some of the computer systems. What they've been talking about is a blackout system. Some of the distractions while they convert a lot of things over. You already have been experiencing a lot of that. The threat of that is an exaggeration at this point. They're trying to create as much chaos and distraction while they complete things and shift things over. So that's what's going on. If you feel safe and secure in getting some extra foods, then go ahead and do that. We do not support a 6 months food storage system necessary at this time.
All right, thank you. We're all in this together. And before we go to the next question, Kasey and Julius, let me just show this message from Princesa de la Luz. That would be the light's princess in English. Princesa de la Luz, hello, divine beings. I am from Dominican, that means from the Dominican Republic, living in San Antonio, Texas. So welcome to the show. I have seen 2 Julius shows and they are too interesting. If there is time, then I will ask a couple of questions. Thank you. Welcome to Expansion Network. Welcome to the Ask Julius Show. It's a pleasure that we have been able to grab your attention and your interest and your curiosity. We really love that has happened. Thank you for being here. And as you know, and the audience knows, you can ask us as many questions as you want to, both here live or sending a message to support@channelingjulius.com. Okay? All right, so having made this announcement, I just showed before that Chantel Svensson is also in the house. She is in the house, okay? All right, so let's go to the next question that comes from Hilda as well. Do high consciousness humans have an immune system? Or because they have the perspective of oneness with everything, including germs, they do not need an immune system? That's a great question.
That's a great question, Master. So there are different levels of consciousness. The upper 3 levels, levels 5, 6, and of course 7, are considered high consciousness. And through the ascension process of those levels of consciousness, your body shifts and changes. So your description of high consciousness may be different than ours. Once you reach a 5th and 6th level of consciousness, your whole body changes. By the time you're a 6th level of consciousness being, you're not even having normal food intake. By that time, everything, your molecular structure of your brain is different, molecular structure of your body is different. So an immune system, of course, is through, part of the systemic aspects of the physical body. And just like every other system, all of your hormones, your nervous system, your blood flow, your circulatory systems, everything, all is performing based on vibration, based on frequency. So the efficiency, let's call the efficiency of your body, is very strong and resistant to anything limiting as you grow your consciousness. Illness is a combination byproduct, Master. It is not just a failing or collapsed immune system, but it's the energy that has caused that immune system to collapse. It is a truth that it has a lot to do with the poisons that you insist in injecting yourself with or in taking, and that you are actually infusement. That is a truth, but it is always a combination of your level of consciousness. So if you're asking us, do you have an immune system? We will tell you you have forms of an immune system while you are physically embodied. By the time you're a 6th level of consciousness, not so much. Your digestive system is different, your brain is different, and things like that. But your vibration is so high and resilient, there's really nothing that processes the same, and there's really nothing for you to be concerned with at that point as far as any form of illness or needing to fight any types of viruses or diseases by that phase.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Hilda, for the question. Let's go to a question that we got offline because we have to catch up with those offline questions that we got through email or the ones from previous shows that we were not able to ask. And this actually is coming from Mireille, as you know, Ayla Word now. She is the co-host of Your Zone of Magic. We've had a ton of shows with her, bringing incredible people thanks to her connections. And thanks to her publishing company. She really attracts incredible people all the time to publish with her. And she's been, doing some shows with us together. And by the way, that gives us also the lead to be able to talk about this show that we have every single Thursday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Today we air the ninth show about conscious leadership. And you will say, why conscious leadership? Well, because, we all work in organizations. We all have our own businesses. We all have our bosses, or we have people that report to us. So it's very important for us in Expansion Network to talk about, conscious leadership and companies. And that's what we do every single Thursday. It's not it's actually done with someone in Spain who's also a leader in the space. And we are actually speaking about things that happen in the world, in the enterprise world, in the corporate world, that are related to how can you keep on making profit with your company, but at the same time being a conscious leader, right? The other week, we were already told that we have there's a possibility to go to YouTube and actually ask YouTube to translate the Spanish, voice, the Spanish audio into English, so that can be done. Again, if you want to learn more about, examples of companies that are being led in consciousness or from a consciousness point of leadership, or if you want to know more on how to transition your company, or you want to become a conscious leader, go every single Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, US, and listen to this show. Anyway, let's go, because we have so many.
We have to make a comment here. Isn't it kind of, shameful that everything isn't consciously created here on this realm at this point, and business and corporation, thankfully, is changing. This is the discussions for everybody to be having. How to make that conversion, how to example that consciousness is not limiting, right? Like you said, making money through a conscious corporation. Well, why would that even be a subject matter? You should be thriving with that. You should be extra thriving with that, right? With the connectivity. And that's really what this is also trying to creating awareness. Because if you have a choice between corporations, let's choose the one that have got the conscious leadership. Let's choose the ones that have got everybody in benefit. Let's choose the ones that care about you and care about each other, making that difference and that shift. And that way we're bringing consciousness into our three-dimensional lives, into the way, in all the resources that you access here on the Earthship. It's all about the physical experience.
Exactly. Thank you so much. By the way, Hilda has been watching some of the episodes of already 9 episodes of the Conscious Leadership Show in the mornings of Thursdays, and she is saying it. Conscious Leadership is a great show. It is indeed. All right, so let me scroll up because, oh my God, we have so many questions. All right, so I know, Hilda, there's more questions coming from you. Please allow me to go to other people and all that still have not asked any question. Let's go to this question from Princesa de la Luz. Okay, so it's a very long question, so I cannot overlap it here or overlay it here because it's very long and I wouldn't be able to share it, to read it if I project it now. So Princesa de la Luz, or Princess of Light, is saying, Dear Julius, is it possible to force a couple relationship using black magic spells? That's an interesting question. And then, again, it's a long question, okay, so bear with me. In the Caribbean, it's common. By the way, in between brackets, we have been doing things in the Caribbean, we ourselves, for a long time. So I'm sure that Julius and Kasey can talk about this, but let me continue with the question. They are all called amarres or moorings. They are called moorings. I know a couple where women practice black magic, and he was someone very different from her, interested in consciousness, sociable and loving. But then he began to be incoherent, to reduce his social life, to neglect his dreams, and to become submissive and dependent with her. And although he admitted not to have common interests, he didn't seem owner of his will. Oh my God, okay. Many friends think he was a victim of a mooring. Is this where possible? And ever he listened to the program, is there anything you can say to help him?
So, Master, everything comes back to your frequency and your vibration, which is mostly generated by your belief system. Hold on. Okay. Thank you. When you are of low frequency, you are subjective to programming, to spells being cast on you, to black magic occurring. It is a truth. It can prey on those that are unaware, those that are easily succumb to energy suggestion, but they also are of low vibration themselves. If you are a high vibrational person, my goodness, affect you. Once those things have taken a hold, it can be a challenge to break them, because you basically have to get the participation of that person to break it. For you can't override sovereignty. You can't override sovereignty. So it gets very, very complicated, extremely complicated. It's like anything else out there, Master. Medicine only works because you know it does, and it doesn't when you don't think it does. Black magic can be the same way. Even though this is done generally behind the back and secretively, it definitively can affect a situation. Here's the thing, though, and here's what's really interesting. To control the mind, to control the behavior, to influence the energetic experience of anybody, there has to be a continual application of it, a continual application. So that's great news. That means you can escape this by breaking the cycle of it. If you know very specifically who is applying the black magic, you can apply a block energetically to the black magic continuing with that person, in which case they have the opportunity to recover themselves because they aren't being continually assaulted. So anytime that you are working control and manipulation on the mind or the energy or the altered ego of somebody, then that has to be constantly put out. It's not a one-hit wonder. It's got to be constantly put out. And it generally can only affect people who work from the altered ego. Their dominant personality is driven by the altered ego. The soul cannot be put under black magic, but the altered ego mind can. And most human beings operate from the altered ego mind at least 80 to 90% of the time. So they're very easily programmed. It's a type of a program, Master. It's done through energy and thought intention and connectivity. So that's how that works. It's a constant continuation of an assault. Can you bring somebody in to block the assault? Yes, but it still is up to the person to recover themselves, and to get themselves out of that situation. It can be very complex. It actually does affect many relationships. Many men and women get lured through black magic, through spell casting and things like that. And they go and they and it's an experience that they're having. Can you rescue them? Is it up to you to rescue them? They really need to rescue themselves. It's extremely complicated, but it is always attached to the altered ego mind, and it has to have a continuation of an application or an assault for it to continue with anybody.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the answer to this question. And let me go back to the question I projected before, and let me ask that question. All right, so that's from Mireia again. She's called herself Ayla Ward right now. Jacobo Greenberg was a Mexican neuropsychologist who, when he was about to scientifically demonstrate the unlimited power of the human mind, mysteriously disappeared in 1994. What happened to him?
He is no longer on this planet. That's what we will tell you. He's no longer physically embodied on this planet. He was removed.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to the next question that comes from Greg Nyman. Hey, Greg. Hi, Julius. How do we break the program that our bodies break down as we age? That's a great question, especially hearing and eyesight.
Yeah, it is a truth, Master. It is a program, and you are bombarded with it. Bombarded with it. And it's like breaking any other program, Master. It's recognizing that it is a program. It is working towards your thought acceptance that it is not a truth. It's an illusionary component, but it is also can be an action of retrieving the body from that decay or from the actualization from that program. So you certainly can work on your hearing a little bit and your visualizations a little bit, but it's also a very, very interesting process to wonder if you are just breaking through the hologram. It also can be a very emotional thing. Are you finally seeing things? Are you finally breaking through the illusion? Are you finally breaking through the narrative? Are you hearing things interdimensionally? So there can be a lot going on. Is your ocular cone-shaped three-dimensional cavity changing and shifting because you're raising your vibration, which could in fact make the third dimensional paradigm a little fuzzy for you? Are you moving more interdimensionally for your own self? These are all kinds of questions. But to get back to what you stated, which is how do you break the program? You start working on the program, Master. You're catching yourself buying into anything that supports the program of aging. Time, anything, celebrations of anything, working your body systemically to support it and maintain health, wellness, and regularity with it. There's all kinds of health and wellness practices to support eyesight and hearing. It's not necessarily an aging thing. It can be a neglectful thing. So that's what we will say. People get lazy. And they don't work their eyesight and their hearing with techniques to maintain a health and wellness regimen. And those things can be very effective as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question because, as I said before, we have plenty of them. Let me make sure we are all right. We are. My goodness, it's going to be difficult for us to answer all those questions. So let me go. It's already minute number 33, and we really want to talk about our special today. All right. So as you probably have seen, we have a QR code at the top left corner of the screen. By the way, thank you so much, Greg, for the question, obviously. And that QR code, please go ahead and scan it. Because we are offering you again the possibility to be coached by Julius in this special coaching program. And then let me show everybody this special coaching program. Okay, so this is a special coaching program, Accelerated Vibration Shifts Packages, aka personal coaching with Julius. Let me read that at the bottom. I'm just showing the website where you are going to be directed when you actually scan with your camera the QR code. So I'm going to, if I am allowed to, because actually I just realized that those testimonials are changing really fast. But one of the testimonials says, I must say the coaching sessions are such a great opportunity to truly accelerate one's own consciousness journey. What a wonderful experience with refined, embraced, and such precision. That's extremely important. I truly enjoyed the one-on-one coaching, with Julius. The second testimonial wow, I just completed my 5-week coaching with Kasey and Julius. Let me go back. Every aspect of my life has been and will continue to be enriched. I am not limited. Hold on a second. I am not the limited person I was 5 weeks ago. Look at that. I am more authentically me. I am an expression of source named Christine. All right, and there's a third testimonial here. Thank you so much for our production team for being so patient. So go ahead, Kasey, and tell us all about this special coaching program with Julius.
Thank you. We were both inspired and had requests from people who wanted to take the private personal channeling sessions that have always been available for Julius further. We started having people ask for groups of channeling sessions, several of them, to help, work through issues. And we decided, wow, maybe we ought to start putting packages together, inspirational packages where basically people could get that and more and more. And originally we were going to come up with very specific subject matters in relationship to the coaching packages, but anybody who's ever had one soon discovered that long gets very personalized with Julius, and people get to spend extraordinary time with Julius working on any area of their life in limitation. It has been so much fun, so much fun. And people come in, they want to talk about their businesses. They want to talk about their relationships. They want to talk about their conscious journey. They want to talk about their spiritual gifts, their intuitive gifts. And Julius spends time with you. So these packages are very cool. There's a couple of different ones for you to check out. And thankfully, we're having a very, very great, great response from them. They're amazing. They're 100% personalized for you, and they're 100% one-on-one time with you for Julius. So if there's something you really want to focus on and you are ready to invest that time for yourself as well, because they need to be done efficiently and effectively, in a compressed or in a certain amount of time for you, take a look and consider it. It's definitely for that extra oomph for you, that extra stuff. And it is amazing. It's amazing. And I always have to say personally, before Julius kicks in on the coaching, because they do, it always gives me the opportunity to sit down with that cup of coffee with you in the morning and be like, good morning, let's get in it and let's have a great time. There's nothing like the personal coaching sessions series. It's wonderful.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so you see it here. If you want to know more, go to Coaching with Julius. This QR code here. It's going to take you to the website where you can sign up for it, or you can send a message to support@channelingjulius.com. All right, so for some reason today we are totally overloaded with questions. We typically have a lot, but today we have more than ever before. Let me make sure I go up fast enough to ask more questions. Let me see what should be the next question. We really have a lot. Okay, so just 1 second. Okay. All right. Okay, good. So thank you. We have to do a few things at the same time that we are talking to you. So the next question actually is going to come also from someone that has still not asked a question. Let's stop sharing this, which is Rodney H. Van Doren. Okay, we love Rodney, don't we, Kasey? All right. So again, it's another member of this amazing extended family of Channeling Julius and Expansion Network. So hello. Earlier, there was a question about President Donald Trump. Will he be elected in November?
So, Master, you're asking us to predict something that hasn't even been created yet, and we don't do predictions, okay? What we can tell you is that the plan is for it to not be a traditional election, that there really isn't a plan to be having a traditional election this time around, that there is a military operation that is playing itself out at this time. There's several options for the conclusion of the military operation, as there always is in military operations, and that's what they're really doing behind the scenes. And what you're seeing play itself out in front of you is a huge distraction, And that's what we'll tell you at this time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Next question from someone who's going to be here. First question tonight is from Ursula. Very good. Nice to see you again here, Ursula. So this is her question. Let me see. All right. So John Kells of Hardworks told me shortly before he passed that we all need to understand the heart thymus or thymus, THYMUS connection, and study his energy work. He said we will need it to defend ourselves, especially the young people. How do I tap into his energetic knowledge to learn more?
Master, that would be up to your intuitiveness. That's up to your intuitiveness. But why don't you access your own wisdom? That's what we would tell you. Okay. There's a unified consciousness of truth that will always guide you. All you need is a high vibrational state, and you will receive the information that will keep you well and safe and whole, and lead you on an expansive aspect of all that you desire to know about your own self. This planet is not real. You are not real as a physical being. Everything is energy. Do not be consumed by things that distract you away from knowing yourself, that you are source. You are playing a game. You are in a dream state. Don't be overly distracted. Go for your wisdom. Go for your innate intelligence. Desire for that connection, Master. Raise your frequency. Stay away from fear. Stay away from judgment. Stay away from stress and anxiety. That's what we will tell you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let me see. The next question comes from Jasher. Do you have certain practices that you utilize to keep your vibration at a high, even when you are going through situations and conditions that are challenging? That's a great question. I think that literally applies to so many of us.
Yeah, absolutely, Master. And as you know, joy is the highest vibrational state. Joy is the highest vibrational state. And a challenge is nothing more than a perspective. You can look at anything as either a challenge or an opportunity. You can look at anything as something difficult or something easy. You can look at anything as something stressful or something playful and joyous. That's the difference. That's the difference. And that is the vibration that will regulate the outcome of any situation. That's how powerful you are as source. It takes focus. It takes practice. It takes intention, and it takes execution. And we recommend that you practice all of that on a daily basis, not just when things get hard, not just when things get to be a challenge. If you are in that state of practice all the time, nothing will ever be hard. Nothing will ever be a challenge. Nothing will ever be difficult, stressful, or full of anxiety. It's what a conscious journey is about. It's about consistency through the state of mind and emotion and perception and frequency. That's what it's all about. So stay focused. Stay focused. When you catch yourself slipping into these emotional states, reel it in, change it and shift it. It's an actionable, progressional shifting in your state of awareness of who you are being in any given thought. That's the definition of a conscious journey, Master. And you are extraordinary. And we know that your thoughts drift into so many dimensional spaces when you are looking at any given situation as a resolution, as a possibility, or even as a creative aspect. But your vibration needs to stay consistent in your perception that all is joyous, all is playful, all is fun, and all is love, Master, and all will be well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to now ask an offline question. Let me post it here so everybody can see it. All right. By the way, I have to go up and ask the question from Jacqueline. I apologize. Let me go fast up after this one. Marzina, that's who's asking that question. Could Julius share perspective on relevance of reptilians and Anunnaki for human race and current times or timeline? That's Marzina's question. Also, how all this human race.
Master, time is an illusion. Nothing ages. That's what we will tell you. It is all a continuum. It is all a concurrency. All of that is happening at the same time. There's no such thing as history. There's no such thing as history. Time is an illusion, so there is nothing that regulates how long something has been anywhere other than your programmable state of accepting that there is something that you cannot demonstrate as a truth. That's what we will tell you.
Thank you so much. And now the question from Jacqueline DeGrasse. My calcium, we already asked that question. My apologies, because I thought I had missed her question. And then the following question also comes from another DeGrasse, hold on a second, which is Elizabeth DeGrasse Miller. And she is asking, hi, I'm working on manifesting selling my house. Can you assist me in what I can do to create this?
Raise your vibration, Master. Everything is vibration. Try to stay away from the fear of it not happening. Try to stay away from the worry of it not happening. It's all about vibration. And really always, always, always reassuring yourself, Master, that you are well and safe no matter what occurs. That way you're not trying to create something from fear. Even though you may have a desire, even though there may be plans, when your vibration is high, there will always be resolution and solution to anything that you desire to create. So you need to stay in that vibration and flow. Again, this can present itself as a difficulty and a challenge because it may seem like selling your house is the only answer to something, and it's not a truth. There is always many, many options, many, many variables, and many, many possibilities. And as long as you keep your vibrational aspect high in a frequency state, you will be able to open your mind to those many options and remove yourself from being attached to the situation, from being attached to the situation. That is the practice. That is the opportunity for you. And that is the joy of everything on the physical plane.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you, Julius. Another political question. Christina is asking, was Senator Paul Wellstone murdered? If so, what information was he going to expose, or what threat did he pose to the status quo?
We can't answer that question, Master, because he has a family that is at risk.
All right. Fair enough. Let me then scroll up and go to the question that we are going to ask right now. Just 1 second to make sure that everything is taken care of.
What we do want to say is this. So because that probably is not a fully satisfactory answer. Masters, please, you are watching a drama. You are watching so much distraction taking place. Try not to get that distracted. You're getting distracted by something that isn't even real. It's not even real, okay? Here's your question, Masters, for everything that has captured your attention, okay, in your life. Everything that seems to be pulling on you as a curiosity or a fear or a joy. This is the way you regulate, especially now when everything is so chaotic and so unpredictable for you. When a subject matter has captured your attention, you ask yourself these 2 questions. How does this serve me on my conscious journey? And how does this help me to know myself as source? Those 2 questions. If you cannot answer those 2 questions from what is going on, don't give it another thought. Don't give it your time. Don't give it your energy. Don't be worried about what the actors are doing. Don't be worried about another soul. all souls are safe. Focus on yourself, masters. Focus on yourselves. That's what you're here to do. As you come back to that, your life will be far less stressful, far less limited, and full of absolute joy and extraordinary.
Thank you so much. I just gave you the whole spotlight because I think that that was an extremely important, statement that you just made, Julius. So thank you so much. Let me add something. As you know, we have interviewed so many people throughout time, like literally hundreds of people here at the Expansion Network. And what I wanted to share with you, there was a special guest. We've had lots of special guests, but this is one that just came to my mind while I was listening to Julius right now. His name is Frederick Dodson. And he actually developed, he paid to have a group of developers develop an app for the iPhone, right? And the app was so simple that Apple didn't want they didn't want to allow him to have that app on the App Store. But eventually he could do it. Actually, unfortunately, it only lasted I think 1 or 2 updates of the operating system. But regardless, you know what the only thing that app was doing? That app was, you could program it. So for every X number of seconds or minutes, for the app to ask you only one question. And the question that this app would ask you was, where would you like your attention to be right now? Where would you like your attention to be right now? That app from Frederick Dodson was so powerful and at the same time so simple. And we were talking about the alter ego just a few seconds ago. Julius was. So I just wanted to make that comment again. We've had 2 or 3 times Frederick Dodson here at Expansion Network. And, where would you like your attention to be right now? So those super powerful questions that Julius was just sharing with us is exactly the same thing. How much time, Kasey, are we, as beings, are we away from the source that we are?
Yeah. And, with all the distraction and the chaos and all the conflict that is ensuing right now, and all of the disclosure that is ensuing right now, and all of the defense cognitive dissonance aspects that it's triggering in people, and the anger and the reactivity, it's all intentional, masters, to keep you from your inner peace, to keep you from your inner love, your own regulatory system. Masters, you have only the ability to control yourselves, the way you feel, the way you perceive, the way you project. And you are being pulled away from that level of awareness for a reason. When it comes back, when you are so angry and you are so frustrated and you find yourself being so reactive, stop and come into the peace and the calm. It is the simplest things that are the most powerful things, masters. The simple and most profound truth is that you are source. You are creating your reality. Are you creating it, or are you reacting to a situation which would create something that you have no idea that you're creating? Come back to your focus and your awareness and love, masters. None of it's real. None of it's real. What is real is the way that you respond or react to the illusion that is playing out in front of you.
And believe it or not, Kasey and audience, we have reached the end of this show. I'm just going to ask a question that is being asked because it's something that obviously it's on our plans, and we want everybody to know what our plans are going to be. Okay, so having been to retreats with you in the past, I look forward to attending again in the future. So basically, he was asking us, will you be doing in-person retreats anytime soon? Everybody's asking the same thing.
It's a great question. It's a great question. And thank you, everybody, for your interest. We are gratefully overloaded right now on my own schedule with other things. We do not have a projection for that at this time. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how all of you look at it, the retreat facility that I have had in Utah is on the market and for sale. Hint, hint, if anybody's interested. And so we no longer have that facility for its utilization. I've literally just landed in my new location of where I'm living. And so have not even had the opportunity to work on that. But have no fear, have no fear. The in-person stuff is the best, is the best. We're actually working on, some people are coming and having very personal sessions in person with me. We are making some of those arrangements for people who need intense healing work, for people who need very, very intense applications and things like that. We are conforming to some of those requests. So those things are a possibility. But thank you for your interest. Hold the space, hold the possibility for it. We very much look forward to a retreat for everybody as well. And we're setting our intention for manifesting that very soon.
Exactly, very soon. And I also want to add up that the retreats are amazing. The retreats are amazing. The ones that was Rodney mentioning, and I know that there's several people in the audience that have been to those as well. So here we go. Thank you so much for being in our show number 79th, and we'll be next week on our show number 17th. It's going to be already the month of August. It's amazing that it's going to be month number 8, so there will be only 5 months left in the year. Isn't it crazy? Definitely a great year. And to everybody that has questions, I know that a lot of you have questions. We have kept them. They are going to be asked properly. Okay. So, for instance, for Princesa de la Luz, or for the light of the Princess of Light that was with us, she asked another question. And she's saying, "Thank you, dears. You are lovely people. Thank you so much. The same to you. Right back at you." So we will be asking those questions. Don't worry, in the future shows. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for being with us. We love you guys as usual. We really enjoy being here. Thank you for allowing us to answer those questions that come from you. Many of them very private, confidential questions that you're willing to share with the audience. See you soon. Bye, Kasey. Bye, Julius. See you next week.